Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our virtual online interview series. And we want to talk today to Mark Saxon, the CEO of Aguila Copper, which was formerly Aguila American Gold. Mark, good morning to Australia. Hi, how are you?
Great to see you, Jochen. It's nice to talk again. It's been too long.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely too long, but due to Corona, no traveling, we had no chance to see each other. We were talking, I think, probably 6 months ago. Now Aguila Copper is your company name from Aguila American Gold. So you are shifting from gold to copper?
Yes, and really, I guess it was a big strategic thought for us, and I guess we took a look at the market as a whole and the way the trends were heading, and ourselves, like many other companies, obviously have noticed the amazing shift that's happening in the battery market, the renewable energy market, the energy transition, and that's really opened our eyes, I suppose, the opportunities that we see in copper and nickel and lithium and graphite. All that sector is really doing extremely well. So that led us down the path, I suppose, of reinventing the company. And we're on that pathway still, but I think we've really achieved some major milestones recently.
Okay, super. Yeah, you had a news release, which I saw on the 31st of January, and you closed the acquisition for a multiple copper zinc gold resource in the Sherridon mining district in Manitoba. So please elaborate on that.
Yeah, that's correct. And I suppose, we're a company, a very technical company. And so we're built on the idea of using data extremely well, looking at regional properties and coming up with really good ideas. And so in that process, we identified a number of different projects, both within the US and Canada. And we were looking at a number of styles of deposits that are copper dominant and give us the opportunities to find something really substantial and of merit. So we picked up 2 projects in the US, and then on our desks, we identified the Sherridon project. And that Sherridon project was one where we had to put it, I suppose, in the too good to be true basket for a little while, because it really looked like an opportunity that we really didn't see as being available to us. We thought that somebody else must be working there. But the exciting thing was that it was owned by a private company that hadn't been able to spend any money on it for about 10 years. And so we managed to get back in touch with that private company and get the ball rolling again and do the acquisition. And it's been a project that, as I said, too good to be true, but now it is true. We are earning 90%, and it will be our flagship project for many years to come.
So what are the acquisition terms? Do you have, let's say, an NSR on it? How much do you have to spend? How many shares have you given to that private company?
Sure. Super simple and very cheap deal. And I guess the reason for that is because the company was private. The company was not able to do a deal without someone coming in and providing some of the legal support to get the company working again. So we did that legal support and the accounting support. We did the past filings and we got them back in good standing and reappointed, helped them to reappoint a director. So we paid some of those bills, which were measured in the thousands of dollars. In addition to that, we are paying them 15,000 Canadian dollars, and we've paid that already as part of the due diligence process. In 6 months' time, we pay 100,000 shares, and then we enter an option cycle. And over a period of 7 years, we need to spend $2 to $3 million on exploration, and then that earns us 90%. At 90%, we convert that into an NSR if we get to that point, if the vendor can't spend their own money, their own 10%. So super cheap deal. And this is a project that, as I said in the press release, it's got more than 400 past drill holes into it. It's got multiple historic resources. It's got a major old mine that produced 7 million tonnes of very high-grade copper and zinc. So it's an amazing project for the amount we've paid for it. And we worked extremely hard to get that project. So.
Super. And you said over a time frame of 7 years. Can you also accelerate it? Because 7 years is quite long. I might be retired then.
So might I, but hopefully not. But I guess, we can spend that money as quickly as we want to. So, we'll be spending millions of dollars within the first few years. The project is ready for additional metallurgy. It's ready for financial modelling. It's ready for additional drilling. And when we look back at what was done in the past, so the work really finished in 2010. The project was pushing ahead towards development. And then the mining industry kind of collapsed. The company wasn't able to support its ongoing exploration. And it kind of went into hiatus. So really nothing's been done on the project since 2010. So the Sherridon project sits only about 65 kilometres north of the Flin Flon mining camp. And Sherridon is a very well-known mining camp in itself. So it was mined in particular between the 1930s to the 1950s. And over that time, 7.7 million tonnes were mined at 2.5% copper and 2.8% zinc. So, yeah, really great grades. And so, yeah, obviously some very attractive targets associated with that old mining. But then the previous explorer, Halo Resources, also identified other massive sulfides in the region, some of which became historic resources and some of which are still exploration targets. And yeah, let me just confirm that the resources I mentioned are historic resources. They were calculated in 2010 under the NI 43-101 system, but we haven't yet done the work to upgrade them to current standards and reissue those reports.
Okay, super. Yeah, when I go through the table with the historic resource estimate, so this is not the 43-101. First question which comes to me up, because you said you have like 400 drill holes. Do you have the historic core? Because I think this is always of high interest to have a look into that, which you can do, maybe can do a compilation with that. And also when I look here up, the indicated 122 million pounds copper, 176 million pounds of zinc in the indicated category. As said, it's historic. This needs to be proven again, but also in the inferred 240 million pounds of copper and 294 million pounds of zinc. I left out the gold and silver, which is also quite nice to have. But I would say that is a kind of a very good thing, because where smoke is, there is fire. And how much work do you think you have to do to reprove those numbers, because they would be already a company maker, right?
Absolutely, and really, yeah, without question, they're a company maker, and they were a company maker for the previous company while they were working on it, and so in order to upgrade from a historic resource to a current resource, we need to be able to go into the field and have a look at the past drill holes and make sure that they are where they thought they were. Have a look at some of the drill core. We have been reissued with all of the assay data that was done at the time. So that we know the numbers are all matching up and correct. And from the vendor themselves, we've received, I think it's 140 gigabytes worth of data. So, yeah, we've got massive amounts of data to work through, and included in that is all the old mine plans and all digitized in 3D space. So we've got a lot of work to go ahead with to bring that data into sort of a modern system. So we'll be able to upgrade that into a current resource. Yeah, just given the time of going back to the original data once again, and just proving all of those things that we need to do under the 43-101 system, which is fine. But the resource was calculated in 2010. It was done by a very professional company, a very professional group of people. We've been in contact with that group of people who did the work last time. And so we know, yeah, they're all still working in the industry today. So, yeah, we can go back to them and get them their support if we need to. So, yeah, while it's historic, it's only 10 years old.
Yeah, super. No, but that's perfect. So what are your next immediate steps, let's say, for this year?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, obviously, a lot of data compilation is part of it, and that'll help us identify the next targets that we move ahead to. But in speaking to the people who ran the project in the past, there's some very obvious targets to drill along strike from the high-grade intersections that have been discovered in the past. We can move ahead into financial modelling, PEA, PFS, and see if there is a project that can move ahead into feasibility studies. So it's very close to that. So when we consider 10 or 11 years ago, when the resource was done, metal prices were 50% less than they are today, or even lower. So the opportunity today to see a bigger project and a more substantial project is extremely easy. We don't need to do anything in the discovery sense to be able to expand the resources because of the metal prices going up. So we'll be out there drilling in the summer. There's a lot of geophysical data which we need to reprocess, and obviously it's been done 15 years ago, and so the ability to reprocess that data is great. We can now put all of that information in 3D space. We can use artificial intelligence and machine learning to identify some of the tricks in the ore body that weren't known before. So that's all beginning now. And we've got the team in place, and we've got the money to be able to achieve those things.
Okay, super. So lots of work for you this year.
It is. It's going to be a very busy year, and yeah, we didn't touch on the projects we have in the US, and yeah,
I'm just
in
asking
addition
you,
to the
yeah?
US, we'll be doing work down there as well.
Exactly. I have also still your 2 press releases here on my desk with the Cora Copper project in southern Arizona, and also you have the LiDAR Copper Silver project in Nevada. Let's start with Cora. Maybe you give us a short overview on that and what's going on there.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll give you the 1 minute on both of those. And
yes.
And so the Cora project, again, we identified from our own project generation, we pegged it on open ground. So just by paying BLM land fees. So we went back into some archives from the Arizona Geological Survey. And so the project sits in between Tucson and Phoenix, in an area that really is one of the primary copper districts in the world, I guess. So we went in there, and our view was, would there be a target under shallow cover that sits on the major trends of the major ore deposits? Is there somewhere easy to go to that's just a little bit masked by cover? And so by going back into past data, we were able to find the Cora project. And we went back to some drilling that had been completed in the 1950s, and then some drilling there, which is 200 meters at about 0.3% copper in oxide from surface, or under a shallow sedimentary cover. And so that immediately caught our eye and said, yeah, that's amazing. It's never been followed up in all the time that exploration has been done. And so that was a target that was shouting out to us. And then I guess we expanded up into to Nevada as well, and that took us to the Leader project. And so Leader again is in a very well mineralized terrain. It's the Walker Lane Belt. So to the south, I guess we've got the Goldfield deposit, the Beatty deposits. To the north, we've got Goldfield, and in particular to the north, there's a project called New York Canyon, which is being explored by Rio Tinto or Kennecott, and that's not too far away. And so we were looking for things that could look a little bit similar to that project. And so at Leader, there was a geophysical survey completed in the 1970s. And we saw the data from that. We thought, yeah, that looks like a really interesting target. We had a geologist go out and look at the project in the field. And there's copper occurrences everywhere, and really lots of pits and small workings are sitting in a very broad area and related to fractures and veins. So the view that we have is that the IP target in the geophysics is sitting at about 100 meters depth. At surface is all the leakage from that main target that's come through, and really super target for buried porphyry. And we'll be doing geophysics, and we'll be drilling that one as well in the coming year, without a doubt.
Okay, super. And in Nevada with LiDAR?
Sorry, that second conversation there was LiDAR. So I jumped from one to the other, and so Cora, Cora in Arizona. And
I didn't make that up.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, super. No, perfect. So
Australian accent. Blame the Australian accent, Jochen. That's
okay. No
Leader,
problem.
Leader, not LiDAR.
Yeah. Okay, Leader. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. And lots to come. Lots going on, and we look forward to some news releases here, of course, also in the next couple of months. And please keep us posted. Yeah,
absolutely. And thank you very much, and happy to share the story. It's been a very big build-up, and we're ready to go with some great discoveries.
That's how it looks like. Super. Thank you very much, Mark.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mark Saxon, the CEO of Aguila Copper, and you heard it. Lots going on. New projects on board in Manitoba, but also in the US, very active. And I think they are now putting together the work programs for this year. It's going to be interesting. Check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.